All right, we are, okay, there we go. Welcome everyone. How are we doing today? Do you want to say hello on our wonderful live stream session today? We have lots to talk about and very excited about sharing some ideas with you on a Friday lunch and learn. So if you would be so kind to say hello in the comments, that would be awesome. We have a lot to cover today in the lunch and learn session. So let's just talk about what the lunch and learn is going to be covering today. And I think that's probably the most important of all. Before we talk about today's lunch and learn topic, I just want to let you know that the DMSC live stream conference is coming up July 13th through the 15th. We have a great collection of speakers, industry leaders, dealer principals, general managers. If you want to save money on your DMSC ticket purchase, you could just use PCG20 to save on your ticket purchase. And then anyone who purchases a ticket between now and, well, I guess tomorrow, June 6th, we have a special digital retailing scorecard that we're going to be offering dealers, and that is super, super cool. So here's today's lunch and learn menu. I want to talk about simplifying the shopping process. I want to talk about, is your virtual showroom staffed? Who's the best to engage your shoppers? And then the challenge of discussing payments with consumers. So there's a lot to talk about today. Michelle, welcome. Brian Miller, great to see you. John Sherrill. It's good morning, right? It's 9:05 out on the East Coast. So we have some really, important content to share. And let's take a look at a little bit of that content right now in our lovely lunch and learn format. So if you haven't seen this cartoon yet, okay, let's just zoom in on that cartoon. I created a set of cartoons for a new book that will be released at DMSC. And this one talks about simplifying dealership websites. Michael Tam, welcome. And obviously the cartoon is making fun of how many call to action buttons are on dealership websites. And of course, I don't have to tell you how many of those are, well, unnecessary today. And I want to talk specifically about some things that I'm seeing. There's a movement around the country of simplifying dealership websites. This is a dealer. Notice he has instant no bull price. Email me the no bull price. Here's another dealer, a Ford dealer, very simple branding. This is Access Ford in Texas. Notice they have one primary call to action called Fast Pass, a secondary call to action on their website. Here's Matt Blatt Kia with very, very clear branding on the homepage. On the SRP, one SRP button for call to action. On the VDP also, just one call to action button. And the reason why I bring this up is that I don't think there's been enough conversation with dealers about this movement about simplifying the website. There's still a number of people who think more is better. So here's what I will tell you is that the number one thing from Lunch and Learn today, Terry, welcome, William, welcome, is that when you simplify your website and limit the number of CTAs, you start to get more people to do what you want to do. And let me just go to this quote from Matt Greenblatt. Okay, I don't know. Let's just hit that nice and big for you. We redesigned our website, fully committed to offering a complete digital experience, start to finish, resulting in a 919% increase in digital retailing applications in under 60 days. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Tony Kinsella, welcome. Greg Babcock, Farzan, welcome. So listen, I want you to really lean in and think about how many call to action buttons you really need on your website. And we're going to be talking a lot about this at the DMSC Livestream conference in July. But there's really no more than 3 or 4 buttons that you need. And depending on your mindset, depending on your digital retailing tool, the real question is does your digital retailing tool schedule a test drive, offer a trade-in value, and calculate payments? If the tool does all those things, then why would you also have those buttons repeated? Now, there are some dealers who are not fully embracing digital retailing, and I'm going to talk about that at the end today on what solutions that they have. But I will tell you this, every dealer who's simplified their SRPs and VDPs are seeing an increase in engagement and are selling more cars. Catherine Alexander, she's the general manager at Lithia Access Ford in Texas, and she's the one with the Fast Pass. She has 2 buttons on the SRP and 2 buttons on the VDP, and she hit store records last month, pushing her above 2 of her competitors that had always been beating her. Here's what she did. She followed our advice to create a brand promise, merchandise that brand promise, simplify the call to actions, and make a full commitment to digital retailing, make a full commitment to the online experience. And so when you see a quote like from Matt Blatt here, and he's saying, hey, it's 900% increase, you would say, well, that's bullshit, Brian. I can't believe that. It's like, no. You don't realize how many people are discouraged because of your website design, meaning you really don't understand. You don't see what I see every single day as I work with dealers. So here are the redesign tips. Let's just push this up nice and big. You know, I'm working with this StreamYard app, so let's you need to be doing. And when you do that, magical things happen. Now, I want to talk to you about some other observations, and I don't want anybody to think I'm being critical. So I'm in New Jersey today. I'm in Eatontown. So I just picked 3 local dealers. I just picked 3 local dealers that are right here at random. Hey, who's the closest ones to my office? Just to show you some of the problems that we're having. Okay. Is the audio back? Is the audio back? Somebody said that they lost the audio. Just want to make sure that maybe someone can give me a little heads up that the audio is working. Let's see. Is audio working? Let's just see. Let's just see what people are saying here. Hope maybe somebody can get back to me. Audio seems to be on. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, I think. Okay. Sorry. Somebody said it was off. Okay. So this is. Let me show you something here that is super important. Let's go into the slide deck. Just the slide deck now. Okay. So let's share this. Okay. Now, these are the website redesign tips that I'd like to share with you. Now, here's the other thing. Now, this is not going to be an easy conversation for people to have. Is your virtual dealership staffed? Okay, and I wrote a little cartoon about this because we've made our businesses very clear that if somebody walks in the showroom, we serve them. We don't tell them to sit down and someone will get back to them in a few hours. So and these are just stores local to me, Whether you're Circle BMW, my first automotive client 15 years ago, whether you're a Ray Catena Lexus store, whether you're Galaxy Toyota, these are all within minutes of our office here in Eatontown. Everyone has the exact same problem. They don't treat their virtual showroom like they do their real showroom. They spent so much time, like every dealer, make sure the photos are good, the descriptions are good, that we have prices, but everyone forgot to staff the showroom. You see, when I went to Galaxy Toyota, take a look at the VDP. Again, this is a common problem with everyone. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 call to actions on the page, okay? And at this time, everyone's looking for ways to sell a car, let alone buy a car. So if I clicked on Get E-Price, the message is no one's here. No one's here. No one can help you. No one really wants to answer your questions. We made the button like Get E-Price, but we're not going to give it to you. Matter of fact, we're not going to tell you when we're going to give it to you either. And oh, you want to schedule a test drive? No one's here. No one's here to talk to you. No one's willing to talk to you. But if you fill out this form, we'll get back to you. Maybe we can accommodate you. Is the car in stock? Is it there? Can I come and see it? No. No one is here. No one is willing to be here. No. Because we don't have any people at our virtual dealership. We don't believe that online selling is real. We don't believe that consumers are serious. Here's Ray Catena. They have one call to action. They show MSRP. There's no disclosure on any price. And when someone wants the price, again, sorry, in this multi-million-dollar luxury dealer experience, there's no one here who cares enough to talk with you right then and there. No one wants to talk to you right there. Hello? Can anybody give me an amen? Do you understand what I see is that the OEMs have created website design guidelines and colors and rules and restrictions and approved programs. And you have to make sure that you say this and not this. And we invest thousands of dollars on photography and thousands of dollars to acquire these vehicles and thousands of dollars a month in rent and all these costs. And so somebody comes to our virtual showroom and we're like, sorry, no one's there. If you really want to talk to someone, you have to come see me. You see, the old days of get them in used to work, but now COVID broke that model. And now that people are doing things differently, believe me, there's a whole new way in which to think about retail. So I'm not picking on anybody, but if your website pops up form after form after form after form, and you have people sucking their thumb in the dealership waiting for the up bus, or if you're saying, Brian, we're not selling as many cars, or if you're telling me my labor costs are too high, or if you're telling me I'm not making enough money, hello, the people who want to buy a car from you are coming to your website. Since you made everything about the price and the game, since you're not going to show them what the selling price is and you pop all these forms, here's what you should know. When you have Get E-Price or check availability, less than 40% of the people who click on that button fill out the form, and you talk to half of them. So only 20% of the people who click on that check availability button or Get E-Price, you talk to via email, which is the required method of communication. Hello? And that's why at DMSC this year, we're going to be talking to successful dealers who've pivoted their business model, who've really pivoted. So let's go back. I want to show you some other slides here. Let's go back and have some fun. Then when you do ask a question, who's answering the conversations? So I started I clicked on, hey, we're here to help. The button said, we're here to help. So I'm like, oh, someone's here to help. Okay. So I just asked, what's the cash price for the car? I'm sure it's some automation said, I'm going to connect you. Finally, Amanda picks up, what's the cash price? And here's kind of like an automatic response. Hey, that's a great car, which is fine. Who am I speaking with? Brian. Okay. Now, it took 2 minutes for Amanda to respond, which is a fail, right? 2 minutes is an eternity. This is not like putting someone on hold on the phone. And then the questions continued. Can I have the best number to reach you at? Notice they are not serving me. They are just running an old school, get them in, get them in. There's no competent person on the other end of this conversation, yet you want to sell more cars. Interesting. So Amanda says, thanks, Brian. Can I have the best number to reach you at? And I said, well, can I get the answer to my question right now? Well, I will have to have my manager get that. And I'll need to know where you're going to register. And I said, well, New Jersey. Okay. And she said, okay, do you have an email number where I can reach out? My manager is in a meeting at the moment, so it may take some time. And I just obviously was testing. I'll call you later. Are you telling me that chat operator couldn't press a button and alert all the sales managers or sales associates in the building that somebody interested in buying a car is on the line? Oh, but they didn't do it. Yesterday, I posted something on social media. I tested 7 different dealer websites, and I asked them a question. What's the cash price on the vehicle? 2 of the chat operators couldn't even read the price on the VDP. I gave them the stock number. The other 5, not a single one escalated to a manager. So I want to talk about back in there in the stream here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who should be answering the questions of people on your website? And I think it should be your sales associates during the day. During the day. And here's what you'll be hearing from Paul Schnell. He's the marketing director from the Alpha Auto Group. Wilsonville Subaru, Wilsonville Toyota are having record-breaking, like market-crushing months. Why? During the day, all chats are answered by their BDC. Real people who can answer questions. They're a one-price store, but they can't show that price. So obviously, they either have to have a conversation with the customer or email them the price, right? Because of MAP pricing guidelines. But it's so beautiful. They figured it out. Like, hey, you want your price right now? Just click here. During business hours, we'll give it to you instantly. Guess what? Their chat went up 4x and their sales went through the roof. Why? They didn't pop up forms anymore. They had a conversation with the consumer. They engaged the consumer. And let's see, Ackley said, the risk of fragmentation in selling customer experience capabilities is increased with the franchise model currently employed by the industry. Well, yeah, I just want to simplify the whole thing. The car industry has built a model, a training system, that if someone walks into the showroom, someone helps them. I'm saying, let's scrap that for a minute. Like, you already got that down. You know how to greet people. You know how to assess their needs. What about when somebody's on the website? Why would you pop up a form? Why wouldn't you start a conversation and then offer, hey, do you want to do a live Zoom meeting? Do you want me to show you how to configure your car? Or I'll even take over your screen. What? You mean, Brian, I'd have to staff my business so when people are on my website with real questions, I could actually sell a car instead of chasing them in the BDC? It's like, yeah, that's what you need to do. And when you do, your labor costs go down and you sell more cars. And the profitability is awesome. Now, I'm going to tell you that some of you don't believe it because you were profitable chasing people, but I don't know a dealer principal who's happy with the margins he's making on cars or she's making on cars or the increased costs that are having in their business. But what if you could get another 30, 40% more car sales with the existing traffic you had? And here's the answer is you serve, not chase. So you have to create a brand experience, simplify the website, and when people have questions, answer them there. You have amazing conversational tools, and now with video conferencing, screen sharing, there is absolutely no reason why dealers shouldn't be rethinking their model. Now, we're going to be talking about that specifically at DMSC. I'm going to be interviewing people on the live stream conference who are doing this, who are using Zoom meetings as part of the F&I process, who have gone completely formless. During the day, they are formless. If you go to their website and hit schedule test drive, ask us a question, get e-price, unlock price, it all goes to conversations. And guess what? At least doubling their sales opportunities. Meaning that a real person, a real contact, a real name, and a real phone number that works. That's what's happening. Now, I do want to address another issue here. Let's just come over here to this screen here. I want to talk about this idea of the right price. One of the challenges with digital retailing is the price on the website may be different than the price that's shared in email, and it's different than the price that's shown in the showroom. Does anybody have that scenario? I want to talk about that because I'm actually going to share something in real time, but I want you to think about this. Have you thought about how many different prices, how many different looks, how many different feels that consumers see when it comes to price? Now, digital retailing is supposed to fix that, okay? But again, if you're playing games on the website, listen, if you're playing games on the website, like I'm only going to show MSRP and everything's a form, fail. Well, Brian, that dealership is profitable. Yes, they should be selling a lot more cars. They should be having even higher profits. Well, Brian, the manufacturer won't let me show the price. Great, turn the unlock into a conversation and you'll double your sales opportunities, sell more cars. Brian, if I showed my price online, then someone's going to shop me down the road for $100. Get over yourself. There's always going to be people who will drive 100 miles to save $5. But en masse, most people value time and convenience over anything. It's about the customer experience. So here's what I want you to think about. Are you fully in with digital retailing? That's my question. If your digital retailing tool does a trade, does calculate payments, schedules a test drive, why do you have another trade tool on your website? Why do you have 3 other buttons that does the exact same thing that the digital retailing tool does? Why don't all buttons jump into the digital retailing tool? Why do you have a finance stupid ugly form when, oh, you mean I really need to simplify my website and get more people in the tool that I believe is working? Obviously, Kyle said this, with one price stores, obviously a lot of these problems are solved because the car becomes the star, not the pricing game, not the mental gymnastics around price. But I want to talk about this. Are you fully committed to digital retailing? Have you called it something? Is your website merchandised for it? When somebody comes in the store, do they see Fast Track or Fast Pass or Express Lane? Do they know what it means? Does your website have a single button that says, this is how you buy a car? This is how you estimate your payments. This is how you, it's just one. Just come through the system, pick any place where you want to go. Now, what if you're not ready? What if you're not ready for digital retailing? Maybe you know a dealer, and there's many of them. Obviously, we just saw a few who are still playing the mental gymnastics game, and they're in the chase mode, not the serve mode, okay? And Scott was saying, because people want just to trade and not fill out a form that says calculate payments. The point is to keep customers on your site, not going to KBB. Yeah, so one of, if you understand what Scott is saying about the trade, there are people who they like a car, but they want to know how much their trade is worth. Now, the whole reason why you name an experience like Fast Pass or Fast Track, because it says you click this button and you can value your trade, calculate payments, and schedule a test drive, meaning that process does it all. Now, some people are old school and they say, well, no, Brian, you have to have another button that says value my trade, because people are stupid and they can't figure that out. Meaning if the banner everywhere on the site that says Fast Track is the fastest way to value your trade, schedule a test drive, and estimate your payments, no, Brian, they can't read that. They're stupid. Okay. Just mean one button. If one button does everything, they can't figure that out. If it said, no, Brian, they won't. Okay. So if you remember, I said 3 call to action buttons. You can have your Fast Pass button, your value your trade, and ask me a question. Yeah. Your Fast Pass, value your trade, ask me a question, any question, and it's all conversational. Now, here's the thing about the trade. The trade can be conversational as well. Now, some tools like Trade Pending make it super easy, but the trade can be conversational as well. Because not only once you establish what the trade is worth, you can then move the conversation even further to, hey, well, what vehicle you're looking at? Let's look at payments. What I'm saying is simplify, simplify, simplify. But what if your dealership isn't fully a believer in digital retailing? Meaning there's great platforms, and we're going to have really the leaders in digital retailing at DMSC Livestream. You'll hear from them all. We're going to have the live exhibit hall. So any dealer who's shopping for digital retailing tools, there couldn't be a better place. You can go right into the virtual exhibit hall and get demos from them all side by side. You could fill your room with your managers and go bing, 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 go right down and look at all the tools at DMSC. But there are some dealers that are a little hesitant. So let me show you something. I'm going to go back and bring up my deck here, and I'm going to share that. And let me make it only that. Okay, there we go. Okay. So let's talk about Preston Honda as an example. Now, Preston Honda is using a tool from Frickin' Tech called Illumina Quote. And this looks like any other digital retailing tool now. It didn't start off as a digital retailing tool. But when you go to Preston Honda and you click on that lease or loan, it gives the tools for the consumer to look at their lease or loan and play around. The way Preston has set it up, the way the Preston has set it up is that as soon as you start engaging, it asks for your information. So it lead gates the experience to get the lead. Other dealers don't have it lead gated. They want the consumer to explore. That being said, that looks like any other digital retailing tool. But I'd like to talk about how I first heard of Illumina Quote and what I loved about it, because it's perfect for dealers that are afraid to give consumers the tools they need to pencil their own deal. So let's look at this example. You get a lead from Cars.com or Auto Trader, and typically that comes into your CRM and your team sends them an email. That email typically, hey, thanks for your interest in the vehicle. It's a great vehicle. Yes, the price of the car is X, and would you like to come in for a test drive? Or, you ask a question. Remember that the look of that email with the pricing may or may not be accurately reflected on the website. And then we hope to get these people in. What Illumina Quote is doing, and the most successful dealers are doing this, is they send an Illumina Quote link to the consumer. It says, hey, yeah, you're interested in this car? You can calculate everything. Just click on this link and you can value your trade. You can estimate your payments all in the comfort and privacy of your home. Basically, what the link does is it creates a private workspace. I want you to think of it like the consumer's own desking tool. And every time they go in and play around with the numbers, the dealer can see that and see what they're doing. It's like having their own private website to work the deal. Now, why do I bring this up? I'm going to stop sharing that. There are some dealers who don't believe that consumers know how to do it or want to do it, which is bullshit. Okay, just call it what it is. It's wrong. You know, I was listening to a video that Brian Benstock recorded in regards to his partnership with Cars.com. And he said, you know, before COVID, about 7% of all our sales were totally online, which was double or triple the national average. And now they're 100%. Okay, for some dealers, they know what that means. But what about the dealers who don't want to? Obviously, Ray Catena does not want to put any digital retailing tools on their website, okay? There are many dealers who it's all form gated. Well, what do you do with those people, okay, that fill out that form and say, we're not here to help? Well, the interesting thing is with the frickin' tech Illumina Quote is the BDC doesn't have to think what's the right price. It's like you send a link and then the consumer opens that link on their mobile phone. They can do everything they want. Every time they do, it's recorded. So you could say, oh, Brian Pasch, the person who submitted that lead, he went back in and he reconfigured. Now he's looking at a different tool. Oh, hold on, Brian. It's like having your own personal monitoring of every lead, how active they are. Yes. Now, the software is now available on the website. So when they go in to like Preston Honda and unlock, then the software is unlocked forever for that customer. And guess what? Every time they go in and do anything on the website, it's all logged into a system, which gives complete transparency to the dealer on how active, engaged, how serious, and best of all, which is kind of crazy, is that it knows where the person's computer is and shows on a map. So if you know somebody's shopping you for a new car, like out of town, or they're saying they're local, but they're not, you'll actually know that, hey, this person says they're in Florida, but they're in California, probably shopping. So here's my point for today's Lunch and Learn. We have to simplify our websites and be fully in with whatever pricing tool you want to use. You want to use CarNow digital retailing, Roadster digital retailing, Gabagoo virtual retailing. Okay, the new dealer.com remote retailing tools with live person built in. Who cares? Whatever you're going to use, are you going to go all in? Or are you going to go half in? Meaning, did you call it something, that experience? Is your website merchandised to explain that what that system can do? Have you simplified the CTA? So you have your DR tool, your trade tool, and ask me a question. 3 buttons. 3 buttons. 3? Well, Brian, if I only gave them 3, what would they do? And it's like, use the tools you believe in. And so then with one consistent pricing tool, with your digital retailing tools on your website, make sure when people come in, they're using the same digital retailing tools. If everyone's using the same tools, guess what? We avoid this lack of trust that the numbers change. Oh, but Brian, that would take a new way of looking at our business. We'd have to staff. You mean simplify, go all in, cut away the forms. During normal business hours, serve. Brian, we may have to add 3 or 4 more people in our BDC, and then our managers will have to respond to customers when they have questions like, yes, get over yourself. That's the new business. But guess what? The dealers who are moving to formless websites are breaking sales records. The dealers who are simplifying their websites are breaking sales records. Why? Because the COVID crisis forced them to rethink their retail business. And that's why at DMSC this year, virtual live stream, we are going to be showcasing the people who've cut their labor force in half, people who have eliminated F&I and gone to a single point of contact. We're going to talk about the people who have one standard pricing tool and one pricing rule. We're going to talk about people who are connecting the online experience to the in-store experience. One dealer I love is going to talk about how they went from an appointment culture to an appointment culture. See, they were an appointment culture when people came to their website was, well, get them in, get them in, get them in. Now, their appointment culture is a new appointment culture, just to come in and pick up their car. Meaning they're doing most of the transaction, if not all the transaction, online when the customer is engaged and wants it. Their appointment culture is how much apart do I have to staff the people who are coming in to pick up their cars with our delivery specialists. Let's see. Francisco is saying, we're going to keep track of every one of our customers. Maybe we need to rethink the CX, UX, UI in the auto industry, not talk about sales rep or digital agency, doing everything, go further. I think that the whole model for retail is going to be reimagined, just like, think about this. When you get a lead into your CRM, hold on. There we go. Sorry. Has anybody tested? Hey, I see you have some questions on this car. Here's a link. Let's do a Zoom meeting and we'll be able to talk about anything you need. Oh, Brian, people would think that's creepy. Yeah, before COVID. But if you actually know, you can get every one of your BDC agents, every one of your sales associates can get a free Zoom account. Hey, listen, I see you have some questions on this car. The fastest way is let's just have a quick conversation. Click on the Zoom meeting. Whoa. Hold on, Brian. We'd have to change our business model. We'd have to change the way we train. Yeah. How about Live Person just announced, integration with Dealer.com's digital retailing tools with co-browsing. Oh, isn't co-browsing perfect for F&I menu selling? Screen sharing? Embedded video conferencing? So I just want to, Grant Hawking said, we have tested it and do very well with it in many of our stores, the Zoom meeting. So that's why I'm so excited about DMSC virtual live stream, because we're going to be talking to people who are using video live streaming. We're going to be talking about people who have gone to a single point of contact and are selling more cars online. We're going to talk about people who've ripped out all their forms and gone to conversational commerce. We're going to talk about people who've changed their appointment culture to an appointment culture of picking up cars. We're going to be talking about brand promise. We're going to be talking about pay plans. We're going to be talking about staffing models. Well, I don't know about you. These are all the things. These are all the things that our industry needs now more than ever. So let me close. Oh, there we go. Let me just close. Let me just bring up our deck here for a minute. And let's just go back here. There we go. Okay. So, hey, listen, I want to thank you for joining the live stream lunch. That's a lot of fun. I want to encourage you to get signed up for DMSC Virtual Live Stream Conference. In addition to great speakers, we have the virtual exhibit hall. We have virtual wine tastings. You can sign up. Jason Moore will ship you wine. You can participate in the auto industry's first virtual wine conference with great Napa Valley winemakers. Take a look at the schedule, digitalmarketingstrategies.org. The best of the best are going to be there. And you can save on your tickets by using the code PCG20 when you purchase your ticket. There's two tickets, the early bird and the premium. The premium includes my brand new book, t-shirts, goodies from all our sponsors, a lot of cool things. And if you purchase your ticket by tomorrow, you'll also get a digital retailing scorecard and video audit from me and Glenn, which would point out all the immediate opportunities that you have for your business to improve, which will be your marketing and merchandising, your workflows, and your digital retailing first respond. Alex said, everything you just talked about is available on Gubagoo's virtual retailing, including virtual meetings. Your thoughts? Yes, Alex, there are amazing companies that are doing breakthroughs. Everyone has a slightly different approach. So a lot of it has to do with their culture. I shared a video yesterday from Glenn Rizzo. He's heading up the digital retailing efforts for Southeast Toyota Distributors, also known as SET. And I said, hey, what's the best tool? And here's what he said. The one that everyone uses, the one that everyone leans into, the one that everyone's using. And of course, you may have heard that like for CRMs, but it's so more important now than ever. It's about process. The technology piece, Alex, is about 20%. You could even say 25%. The rest is process and leadership and vision. So if you put a button on your VDP that's like a Gubagoo virtual retailing tool. It can do everything. Estimate payments, schedule a test drive, value your trade, do video conferencing, do screen sharing, and you have 7 other buttons because you didn't believe in the tool. And you still have value your trade going to KBB. You still have schedule a test drive going to a shitty form. You still have check availability because somebody told you that was a smart thing to do. And it popped. You see what I'm saying? It's, are you in? And then when someone picks someone up on the phone, are they going into the same digital retailing tool to share a deal jacket? When somebody walks in the showroom, are they using the same tools? That's what this industry really needs to decide. Are we going to staff our virtual showroom, our website? Are we going to serve, not chase? Are we going to use the same tools throughout the whole communication process? And if your dealer is not ready to go full in on the website with digital retailing, then maybe you should have a better first quality lead response. That's why I like the Illumina Quote system, is because it allows a dealer like to take a little baby step. What would happen if I gave consumers everything they wanted in one email? Like, hello? Like one email? Like my initial lead response would give them everything to work their own deal. And every time they change something, I can see it. If they go back 2 or 3 times, I can see it. And I can have a more relevant conversation. That's modern retail. I'm going to say something that Tim Cox told me from Car Now. He said, Brian, even if a dealer didn't believe in digital retailing, if they just installed conversational commerce techniques, meaning if they took away all their forms and went to conversations and just started talking to people, they could double their sales. We've seen that. What the digital retailing tools do is really help people when it comes down to specific numbers and building trust around that number. So at the DMSE virtual conference, we'll have Roadster there, and we'll have Car Now, and we'll have Cox, and we'll have Gubagoo, and we'll have Frickin' Tech with Illumina Quote, and now it's really a full digital retailing tool. So that's going to be awesome. So we have some amazing leaders that are all going to be sharing, and then each one of those companies is going to be bringing their best client stories, best client processes, and then the dealers themselves are going to be sharing what they changed with their pay plans, what they changed with their merchandising, what they changed with their marketing, and it's going to be mind-blowing. So what are you waiting for? Get yourself signed up for our Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. It's digitalmarketingstrategies.org. And again, if you sign up by tomorrow, Glenn and I will do a digital retailing scorecard on your website and do a video recording of the whole scoring and send that to you so you can get better immediately. And then, of course, don't forget, all of the sponsors who are at DMSC will be there live throughout the entire conference through their exhibit hall. So you can jump in and get demos instantly, download all the information you would need, case studies. So it's going to be very cool about what we're going to learn from the dealers around the country. Small and large, how they pivoted during COVID. So thanks for taking time with Lunch and Learn. Modern retail is not a fad, and when the country fully opens back up, retail's never going to be the same. And here's the reason why. Dealers found out that they could cut their labor costs if they changed their business model. And the labor cost was the last missing piece of the puzzle that dealers couldn't figure out. Dealers found out that they had 30, 40, 50% more overhead in labor than they needed. They realized that if they just served the customers instead of chasing them, it was more efficient, and the time to close the sale compressed. And, well, there's so many other learnings. So I'll see you in July at the Digital Marketing Strategies live stream event. If you have any questions, it's just brian@brianpasch.com. And look forward to engaging with you if you have questions. Have a great weekend, everyone. It's fun to use technology to do a little Lunch and Learn.